Meghan Markle threatening to leave Prince Harry because he's going bald? Is Meghan Markle threatening to leave Prince Harry over his growing bald spot, as a tabloid ridiculously claims this week? Of course, she is not. The story is completely untrue. Looked into it and we can debunk it. The Globe is reporting this week that the Duchess of Sussex has told the Duke that he must get more hair or get lost. The piece is as false as it is silly. There is absolutely no evidence that Markle has given Prince Harry an ultimatum about his receding hairline. The outlet claims to have an insider saying, Meghan has turned into a rabid social climber obsessed with being the huge star she never became as an actress, so, a bald Harry won't do. As a result, the so-called insider claims, she's threatening to kick him out of bed, and her life, if he doesn't do something about his retreating mob top. The article alleges that Prince Harry's bald spot has doubled since marrying the Duchess and quotes a hair transplant surgeon who has never treated the Duke as saying, "You can see a definite acceleration in his male pattern baldness in the last few months, that may be due to, according to the doctor, the stress of marriage and fatherhood." That quote is taken from a report in a London tabloid published in May. The same doctor said almost the exact same thing 6 months earlier in November 2018 to the same London tabloid. Of course, he didn't mention the stress of fatherhood in the earlier report, because the couple's son, Archie, had yet to be born. Nevertheless, the doubling in size quote stayed the same. This is just another example of two tabloids recycling a false story to sell papers. It's also worth pointing out the strong and mean-spirited language the tabloid uses when referring to Markle in its piece. The outlet calls the former Suits star a failed actress, despite starring on the hit show before her marriage to Harry. She's also referred to as a social climber, and a diva, in addition to implying she is so shallow she would divorce her husband over his potential hair loss. This is par for the course for tabloids when writing about Markle. The vitriol has gotten so bad that Markle and Prince Harry have filed a lawsuit over the gossip media's treatment of the Duchess. The Globe itself is not the tabloid being sued, but has nonetheless been guilty of much venom aimed at Markle. In July, the tabloid falsely reported Markle was battling depression and gaining weight following the birth of their son. The publication claimed the Duchess was struggling to cope with motherhood, and has become a compulsive eating machine, gaining a staggering 37 pounds, and could barely waddle herself out of the house. Busted the tabloid for its rude, untrue account, and the Duchess can be seen in multiple photographs on the couple's recent trip to Africa looking every bit as radiant and fit as ever. In May of this year, the Globe wrote an even more inflammatory story alleging Prince Harry was not the father of Markle's son. The tabloid's front page headline screamed, "Harry's not the daddy," in a blatantly false report. There has never been even an inkling of evidence to suggest the Duchess has been unfaithful, and the paternity of Archie has never been questioned, as pointed out at the time. It's clear this tabloid is determined to be as malicious as possible towards the royal couple. This latest, laughable article about the prince's hairline is another example of how nasty the outlet can get. Air Today. Prince Harry's bald patch has doubled in size since marrying Meghan Markle and becoming a dad, claims hair transplant surgeon. Prince William has been teased by his younger brother for years about his ever-increasing hair loss. But a transplant surgeon claims Prince Harry's bald patch has almost doubled since he married Meghan Markle in May 2018 and became a dad to son Archie in May. Dr. Asim Shamalek from Manchester's Crown Clinic claimed the Duke of Sussex, 34, has been experiencing the same acceleration of hair loss as Prince William, 37. Earlier this week Prince Harry visited the Sheffield Children's Hospital and during a cuddle with the ward's teddy mascot his thinning locks were clearly visible. Just after the birth of Archie, Harry's bald patch was on show at the launch of the Invictus Games countdown in Holland, and had extended greatly down the back of his scalp. The Harley Street consultant told Fabulous Digital, "Fatherhood has definitely not been kind to Prince Harry's hair. You can see a definite acceleration in his male pattern baldness in the last few months. Stress is a factor in hair loss, so the struggles of combining his royal duties with marriage and becoming a father for the first time may be a reason why his hair is thinning noticeably across the top of his scalp. A much more significant factor, though, is the strong baldness gene running through the whole Windsor family. It started with Prince Philip and has now been passed down to Prince Charles and on to his sons Prince William and Prince Harry. William got it first and has the strongest baldness gene of all the royals. He was losing a lot of his hair in his early 20s. Harry's baldness was slower to take off, but now, aged 34, he is catching up his brother fast, particularly in the crown area. The hair professional said around 30% of men have experienced some form of hair loss by Harry's age, so his case is not unusual, particularly when you have a baldness gene running in the family. Dr. Shamalek said that Prince Harry could have come under pressure from his bride Meghan to tackle his hair loss. He said, "She was a Hollywood actress in her former career, so she knows very well the value of looking good. A lot of my clients come due to subtle pressure applied by their partners who would rather not be dating a bald man." Harry always loved mocking his brother for his hair loss, once quipping, "I think he definitely is brainier than I am, but we established that at school, along with his baldness." Dr. Shamalak, whose celeb clients include Callum Best and TV's Dr. Christian Jessen, added that Prince Harry could tackle his baldness now by having a hair transplant. He said, "There is still time for Harry to combat the problem and restore his lost hair. He needs to act now before it is too late." Prince William could not be helped, he would not have enough donor hair to cover his bald patches. He also suggested that Harry may have grown his beard to compensate for his thinning hair. He said, "It is very common for men who are thinning on top to grow a beard. It does detract a little for the hair loss in the scalp. Beards are also a sign of virility, and men are often reassured by the fact that while they may be losing hair on top, it still grows well in other parts of their body." Dr. Shamalek has seen a 25% surge in hair transplants since footballer Wayne Rooney had his in 2011. Wills decided not to go under the knife, and instead forked out £180 on a no-one buzz cut back in January. In other royal news, we told you how a furious palace has denied untrue claims that Kate Middleton got baby Botox after the birth of her children. We also revealed how the Queen could advise Meghan on things that could have been done better during her Balmoral visit, according to a royal expert. And we showed you how Meghan and Harry have been placed in front of Kate and Wills on Queen's picture table. Prince Harry is going bald for a surprising but touching reason, Doctor reveals. Dr. Asim Shamalek predicts what the Duke of Sussex will look like aged 50 at the current rate of loss. While Prince William's hair started beating a hasty retreat in his 20s, his little brother Prince Harry has been more blessed in the follicular area, holding on to his locks well into his 30s. But time is nobody's friend, and at 34 years of age, Harry's patch appears to be on the move, outwards. And a leading cosmetic surgeon believes the seemingly sudden hair loss surge is down to one person, his wife Meghan Markle. Dr. Asim Shamalak, from Crown Clinic in Manchester, says Harry now appears to be losing hair at a faster rate than William because he's so happy. Explaining that Harry has probably stopped working so hard to hide his hair woes, Dr. Shamalak, who specializes in hair transplants, has predicted how Prince Harry will look at 50 if his current rate of hair loss continues. If he does not take action now, he faces suffering from advanced male pattern baldness like his brother in his 40s and beyond, he explained. The last year has been a wonderful period of happiness for Harry, culminating in his wedding to Meghan in Windsor in May. While marital happiness does not bring about any hormonal changes which would affect hair loss, research shows that men in settled relationships tend to do less to disguise their baldness. It reflects nature and the need to find a partner. Once that goal is achieved, there is slightly less incentive to cover up hair loss. Dr. Shamalek believes a strong family baldness gene has caused Harry to lose his hair just like his grandfather Prince Philip, father Prince Charles and brother Prince William. And he reckons the Duke of Sussex may have grown his beard to compensate for the hair loss on his scalp. It is very common for men who are thinning on top to grow a beard. It does detract a little for the hair loss in the scalp. Beards are also a sign of virility, and men are often reassured by the fact that while they may be losing hair on top, it still grows well in other parts of their body, Dr. Shamalek said. Thankfully, should Harry decide that he wants to take action, then there are ways and means. You can use hair thickeners, which Wayne Rooney has done for years during big games to make his hair look thicker than it really is, says Dr. Shamilak, who did Callum Best's hair transplant. You can also give the impression of thicker hair by dyeing it a darker color, as David Beckham did recently when he was in Hong Kong. It is to Harry's credit that he has not resorted to either of these measures. He clearly has a wife in Meghan who loves him no matter what the state of his hair. However, there's only one long-term solution to hair loss, says Dr. Shamilak, and that's to undergo a full hair transplant. He could fully restore his crown with an fouet, follicular unit transplantation, procedure like Wayne Rooney or Callum Best, where hair is removed from the back and sides of the scalp and replanted in the balding area, he continues. Prince Harry could also tackle his hair loss by taking a hair loss drug such as Propecia, which slows down hair loss but doesn't lead to the growth of new hair. One side effect of the drug seen in about 2% patients is a loss of libido, which can put some off. Dr. Shamilak's celebrity clients include Callum Best, TV doctor Christian Jessen, and Homes Under the Hammer presenter Martin Roberts. He has seen a 25% rise in bookings at Crown Clinic thanks to the Rooney effect, with increasing numbers of young men following the lead of the former England captain and having a hair transplant.